Welcome back. The announcement of a mass agitation by the DMK seeking immediate action by the Chennai Corporation to control diarrhea and cholera in the city has caused considerable unease among officials. Chennai Memorial Hall was the venue of action where M.K. Stalin led the agitation. He condemned the AIADMK minister who had earlier rubbished the reports. Stalin said that an all-party team must be formed by the corporation to check the spread of the viral.
இப்பொழுது மிகுந்த அடக்கத்தோடு கேட்கிறேன், அமைதியாக கேட்கிறேன், பொறுமையாக கேட்கிறேன், நிதானமாக கேட்கிறேன். என்ன என்று கேட்டா, நீங்க சவால் விட்டுருக்கீங்களா? ஏத்துக்கிறோம். இதே ஆர்ப்பாட்டத்தில் பங்கேற்றிருக்கக்கூடிய உங்கள் அனைவரின் சாட்சியாக ஏற்றுக்கொள்கிறோம். நாளைக்கு உள்ளாட்சித்துறை அமைச்சரை கேட்கிறேன், மேயராக இருக்கக்கூடிய துரைசாமியை பார்த்து கேட்கிறேன். நாளைக்கு ஒரு குழு போடுங்க, அனைத்து கட்சி குழு என்று கட்சியில் இருக்கக்கூடிய பிரதிநிதிகளை நீங்களே நியமிங்க. ஒரு கட்சிக்கு ஒரு பிரதிநிதியை கூப்பிடுங்க. அதே போல பத்திரிகை துறையில் இருக்கக்கூடியவர்களை ஒரு பத்திரிகைக்கு ஒரு பிரதிநிதியை கூப்பிடுங்க. கூப்பிட்டு ஒரு குழுவை போடுங்க. நீங்க கால்ரா இல்லைன்னு சொல்றீங்களா? எங்க இல்ல, அழைச்சிட்டு போய் எங்களை கொண்டு நிரூபிங்க. நாங்க ஏற்றுக்கிறோம். நாங்க வியாதி இருக்கு, மருத்துவமனை அனுமதிக்கப்பட்டிருக்கிறாங்க, நாங்க சொல்றோம், நாங்களும் அழைச்சிட்டு போறோம். நீங்க அழைக்க விரும்பவில்லை என்று சொன்னா நாங்க கூப்பிடுறோம். நீங்களா வரீங்களா? நாங்க கொண்டு போய் நிரூபிக்கிறோம். அதற்கு தயாரா?
Reaching out to the transgender community, Tamil Nadu government announced introducing a scheme to provide them with a monthly dole of 1,000 rupees. According to the proposed pension scheme for destitute transgenders by Chief Minister Jayalalitha, impoverished members of the community aged over 40 years will be eligible. The Chief Minister has allocated around 1 crore rupees for this purpose. Moving on, the Chief Justice of India made a strong observation in the Supreme Court, saying that the 2G spectrum was allocated on the distorted first-come, first-served policy. He stated that the policy was fine, but the implementation was flawed. This came up during the hearing of 2G presidential reference by a 5-judge constitution bench. Staying with the issue, in a major setback for former Telecom Minister A. Raja and his former Private Secretary R.K. Chandolia, former Telecom Department official A.K. Srivastava has testified that Chandolia had asked him not to accept any more applications once Unitex was received. The CBI in its charge sheet had alleged that Chandolia and Raja got into a criminal conspiracy to wrongly favor Unitech. Srivastava's testimony supports the CBI's claims of conspiracy to favor Unitech. In another scene, DVAC officials have raided Abhishek Dikshit, who was accused of effecting 87 transfer orders after taking bribes. The DIG of Salem Range has revoked all the transfers. Our crime correspondent Salim has more on this.
Several allegations against two officers. One, Abhishek Dikshit, he is the 2006 batch IPS officer. Two, Sub-Inspector Ramachandran, he was with the traffic wing. He has been transferred to the Tirunelveli district, but he has not joined there yet. And Abhishek Dikshit has been transferred from SP Krishnagiri to SP Commander Force Headquarters in Chennai. Now, basically the allegation against SP Dikshit is that even after he was transferred, he facilitated 87 junior officers' transfer orders after receiving bribe. The bribe has been facilitated by Sub-Inspector Ramachandran. This is the allegation against them. We do not know how far it is true. This is one among the allegation. In fact, sources from the DVAC do tell us that raids were conducted in both the residences of the IPS officer and the Sub-Inspector concerned. The IPS, as far as the IPS officer is concerned, his official SP residence in Krishnagiri was raided by the DVAC police, and his native place is Uttar Pradesh. He was living in Kanpur, and raids was conducted there as well. Now, basically, police say that they will file a report to the government, and expectations are running high whether these two officers, the IPS officers and the sub-inspector, will be suspended by the government.
Over to news from Karnataka. A couple in Bangalore was murdered at their residence-cum hotel. Their 5-year-old daughter, who witnessed the murder, was also attacked. She is now in hospital in critical condition. Pankaj and Babita Sharma, originally from Agra, ran a vegetarian hotel from their home in West Bangalore. They were killed last night with iron rods. Reports have also emerged that their cook and helper employed just a week ago has been missing since last night. An IT employee of Infosys died reportedly after falling off a multi-level parking lot inside the company's campus in Hyderabad late on Monday night. The police is investigating whether she jumped from the building or was pushed after her family alleged foul play. Nilima Yeruva, who was 27, was found near the parking lot at 10:30 p.m. last night by a security guard. She was rushed to the Apollo hospital at about 10:50 p.m. where she was declared drop dead.
ऑफिस में करा तो 10:30 को और सिक्योरिटी गार्ड वहाँ नीचे से गिरा बोल के उन्होंने इन्फॉर्म करा तो उसको हॉस्पिटल में ट्रीटमेंट करता ब्लड डेड हुआ मर गया उन्होंने और साथ में वो लोग पेरेंट्स पूरा सस्पिशियस कर रहे हैं इन्फोसिस वाले के बार जो डेथ का ड्यू टू इन्फोसिस एम्प्लॉय समथिंग कुछ हुआ बोल के वो सस्पिशियस बता रहे हैं वो लोग पीएमई मालूम करे तो मालूम होता वो सुसाइड और होमिसाइड कोई करे क्या करे वो तो पोस्टमार्टम पर होने के बाद मालूम होता क्लियरली.
News from the Northeast. Chief Minister of Assam, Tarun Gogoi, said that the situation in the province was limping back to normal following the ethnic strife that erupted between Bodo tribals and Muslim settlers. Gogoi said that normalcy was being restored and added that those who had fled were gradually returning to their villages, which could be termed as a positive sign.
Situation in the Kokrajhar and Sirang area is coming to normal. No incident has been taken place. It's a good sign. People have started returning back to their respective villages. Total 14 camps have been closed. And that means people have left their camp and they are going back to their respective villages. In fact, more than 12,000 people have already returned back to their respective 12,000 they have left their camps and they have gone back to their respective villages. It is a good sign, and that means the sense of insecurity is gradually going down. And in fact, most of the people, you see, they have expressed their desire to come back to the villages. And we have also assured them we will provide security. But in the meantime, we want to try to.
Moving on, armed forces chiefs have written to Defence Minister A.K. Antony over the Pay and Pension Panel Committee that was formed by the Prime Minister earlier. Sources say that the chiefs have questioned as to why only bureaucrats formed the committee. Observing there was growing discontent among armed forces personnel over anomalies in pay-related matters, the Defence Minister wrote a letter to the Prime Minister on the 30th of July, saying if corrective action was not taken, the issue might take a bad turn. With firming of oil prices in the international market, jet fuel or ATF rates were hiked today by a steep 4.5%, the second increase in a month. The hike comes on back of a 1.7% per kiloliter hike in rates effective from the 16th of July. It's another short break for now, but we'll be right back soon.